If you've struggled with stress, balance, or burnout, and simply feel discouraged or even defeated, and if you're ready to move from force to flow and enjoy ultimate Zen success in your career, health, or relationships, then the Zen Success Show is for you. Your host, Carissa Sims, is an entrepreneur, corporate consultant, best-selling author, meditation teacher, and healer who has found her own Zen success. Here's your host, Carissa Sims.
Welcome to this week's episode of Zen Success. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Dianne Olvera. Hello. And what do you like to be called?
Oh, you could call me Dianne. We're fine.
Okay. Well, let me share more about Dr. Dianne Olvera. Dianne has worked as an international diplomat, spy, educator, professor, brain researcher, and clinician for over 4 decades. Are you currently working now, or you're an author?
I'm an author now, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I still keep in touch with some of my clients from the past, and
Okay.
yeah.
Wonderful. Her doctoral degrees in bilingual special education, language, and cultural differences are based on research and practice highlighting language's power. These proven and effective strategies transform the lives of everyone who uses them. She is the author of Ask, Don't Tell: 6 Easy Steps to Improving Communication, Self-Control, and Interpersonal Relationships. Her upcoming book, you can see behind her, The Power of Connection: Understanding Individual Differences to Uplift and Empower, is already released, right?
It is, yes.
It's ready to go. Oh my
That's right.
gosh.
Yes.
And just from a personal standpoint, I really love this title because connecting is so important to me. You know, when I meet people, also my kids, connecting with my kids, not being transactional. And now I'm dating. I'm a single mom. So
Oh,
connecting
I've
at
been
that
there,
level.
done that one. Oh, yes. Bless you, child.
We're gonna get all the tips. I'm gonna
Exactly.
squeeze as much information from your brilliant mind, and I'll have a great conversation.
Well, this is interesting because I moved here because my husband of 40 years was very sick, and our son lives here. So I had no friends. I knew no one, and I moved into an over 55 neighborhood. And after he died, they had a group meeting for, getting together, a grief meeting. And I met this man whose wife died 2 months after my husband died.
Is this a dating story for you? I
Oh
love
my
it.
God. Well, this is my next book. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. Oh
oh,
my
we get
goodness.
a little preview. We get a little preview. Well, you're
Exactly.
well, you're gorgeous, by the way, so I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same of you.
Okay, we're mirrors here.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, so you went to this meeting and he said something?
Yeah, we just started to discuss. His son is actually a professor at UCSB.
That's where I went to school for the
I
audience, undergrad. So here we're tying this all together, these
Mhm.
lives intertwined. Yes.
Well, and it's really hard if you've lived with somebody for 40 years to even think about opening up to someone else. I mean, normally you say, okay, that's it, psh, psh, done it, been there, done that. Oh my goodness. So I started using all the strategies from the book.
Oh, good.
And he said to me, and we've now been together for 5 years, and he
Okay.
said, I have never been happier. I have never been more relaxed in my whole life. Yeah, because it lets you open up and be yourself
Oh my God.
right from the beginning.
I
So
love that. Okay, but I want to hear the juicy date story. Like, did he ask you out at this meeting or you started to be friends?
We
You don't
just
have to share
started,
everything.
yeah, we just started to be friends, and he was a spy in the sky. He did satellite.
Oh my gosh, so
Yeah,
you
so
have
we
that
had
in common.
yes, yeah, we had a few things in common, and of course there were things we couldn't say, but there were things that we were able to discuss. So we had, many things that were very similar. But if, as you would see in the book, we process information differently. He is a specialist. He loves details. I'm a generalist. Give me the bottom line. Now, in
This is
in
like your job title, but are you talking about like your specific skills as a person, a communicator?
yes, it's you, the person. How do
Mm.
you, the person, process information? Do you like to just give me the general idea and then we'll start filling in details? That's a generalist. If you have a child that whenever you start giving him too many details, he starts to like eyes wander and, starts looking around and doesn't want to have anything to do with you. But yet
Yes,
you
that's
might have.
true. With my son, I see that especially when I give him like more than one task or two
Mhm,
tasks at a time, he gets mad and
mhm, mhm. Okay, so now that you have defined his type, it's so much easier to parent him because you now know how much you can give that brain and how much it wants to hold. And when you want to flip it, so now you don't have to keep telling him what to do. You empower him. You put your toys away. That's very mature. I'm proud of you. And then the next time his toys are on the floor, you just flip it around and say, hey, where do your toys need to be? You have then elevated him to someone of a stature that you know has the ability to do this. He now sees himself and he becomes self-aware of his abilities.
where were you 13 years ago when I was having my baby and could have had, but my soul and spirit and this journey, I had to learn all of this the wrong way. And here you are teaching me to empower my kids. Thank you.
It's yes. Well, it took me a long time. You see, after we were diplomats, I was so intrigued with how do these people wine and dine and talk you into things when you know you, but you keep falling into their trap. And so
But then
I,
we'd fall into your trap because you're the spy, right?
well, but it was how to manipulate because
Yes,
it was
manipulate.
very easy for them to take a woman aside, cocktail party,
Yeah.
and discuss things with them. And before you know it, if you are not self-aware, if you are not perceiving your environment, and if you are not understanding that person's personality, boom, you're caught. And you start saying things that you really are not supposed to say. So I learned a lot of these basics as a diplomat,
Mm.
but I wanted to know how did the brain work? What makes us do this?
Yeah.
So that's why I went back and I got, my master's and two doctorates, because the first doctorate was learning how the brain works and how different people, process. And then the
Mm.
second one was more in cultural differences and how to define that and how to interact with people from a variety of perspectives.
Yeah, that makes sense. I want to talk about your book, The Power of Connection. So, what inspired you to write it?
Everything that I'm telling you right now. Plus, I was very concerned as I started speaking with doctors and parents, business people. you know what everyone's coming up with? It's talk about triangulation. Everyone's coming up with one word, self-awareness.
Mm. And
That
sometimes people say mindfulness, but that's different.
mindfulness is being aware of self.
Okay.
Self-awareness is how you are presenting yourself to yourself, talking to yourself, and then presenting that self to the world. So if you wanted to, I did this with actually a graduate class in my law class. I
Okay.
said, I don't want to know your background. I don't want to know anything about you. I want to know, who are you? What do you aspire to? Who are you, the person?
Mm.
Not one person could raise their hand. Not one person could answer. Now that I've been talking to business people, they're saying the same thing. We can't hire new graduates from college. We can't hire high school graduates because they have no self-awareness. Doctors are saying people were coming in.
Interesting. I didn't know that. So
Well,
corporations are saying that?
exactly.
Wow.
And doctors are saying that a woman will come into the office and say, I'm drinking a bottle of wine a day. And I had I had I had no indication that I was doing this until it was too late. Self-awareness,
Ah.
body self-awareness, mind self-awareness.
Mm. That's interesting. So these corporations are saying that there are older, I mean, like, let's say maybe 30s or 40s, like what, then that generation tends to be more self-aware and that's what they're looking for.
They're looking for anyone who's self-aware. But
Okay,
what's
anyone.
happening is we have babied our children.
Mm.
And, even when I was teaching at Cal Poly, I mean, parents would call me and say, hey, so my daughter's in your linguistics class. And so, like, I didn't like the grade she was getting. How can you help her? It's like, hello, she's 23 years old.
I don't even do that to my kids now. I'm just like, you have your own relationship with your teachers and your grades. And I'm like,
Yeah, but listen to them now. How do you know that? What will you say to your teacher?
yeah,
If somebody's bullying you, what
yeah,
words will you use to defend yourself?
yeah.
How will you use your eyes?
Mm,
Your eyes, the eyes are the doorway to the soul.
hmm.
How do we use those eyes in a way that can empower you and others around you?
Interesting. So that would be good to say those type of questions to my kids. I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Oh, that's a perfect age, because now they're getting into puberty.
Yeah.
And that's when the brain starts changing, in the children. And so this is a time when they need to know self. So
Yes.
rather than say, hey, good job, buddy, what was good? So you have to define good. So that I really appreciate the way you rake the leaves for me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Be specific.
be very tasks, any
Mhm.
specific. If
Yeah.
they have decided to help make some sandwiches.
Yeah.
Guys, that was a really powerful thing to do for me. You saw how busy that's empathy.
Yes.
Empathetic to mom.
That's wonderful. And yesterday my son made mac and cheese and made enough for his sister too. And I don't really eat that. I eat a little bit different, vegan, healthier.
Yeah.
And I did. I told him, I said, look, Kinley made us dinner tonight. Isn't that wonderful? And I think he was a little bit proud. And we went on a bike ride and he stopped halfway through and he came home. And when I got home, I decided to do the entire loop. And I said, you know what? I'm proud of you for going on a bike ride, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I didn't say anything about him leaving early because he was frustrated and that his bike wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to share that just happened yesterday.
No, and that's true. And when you want to talk about his frustrations, I saw you were a little frustrated because. So then I start with a topic, and then do what we call extension words because, and then I stop. I listen. This is the hardest thing in any relationship.
It
You
is
listen,
so hard. Like
and
even
then
now, I'm like, oh, wait.
yeah, yeah, because what you want to do is you want to have a teaching moment. You know, as soon as they say something like, "Well, this bike is stupid,"
Mm-hmm.
or and I need to get a new one," you know, and so you listen. Okay, so do you know how much bikes cost?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh, well, would you like to go online and see how much they really do cost?
Yeah.
And then he may say yes, or he may say, "Oh, this is dumb. I don't like it
Mm-hmm.
because."
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, and then pretty soon you're doing two things. You're taking out all the frustration in words,
Yeah,
so it's now out of his body. And then the second thing that you're doing is you are empowering him with the ability to define self.
I see.
I am mad. I am frustrated
Okay, that is defining self because I was like, I don't even know what that is. Defining self is to be present and clear about the emotions that you're feeling right now.
Yes, and what are your abilities?
Okay.
What can you do? I am really good at jump roping. Uh,
Yes.
I am empathetic to my friends.
Yes. Okay.
And then when they start to have self-awareness and they start to see who they are, you start with that to empower them. Then when you need to say something negative,
When I need to.
yeah,
Yeah. I was a
every
big
once in a while, yeah,
mom.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Calling
When you
me out. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So when you need to say something negative, it's not, they won't be taking it um, as almost a slap. They take it
Yes.
like, oh, but I'm really good at this, but this I have to work on. So
Yes.
that empowers them.
I see.
When you start using these speech patterns, what happens is they start doing the same with their friends. So if you are using like demeaning kidding, like, "Oh, you're really stupid. That was really dumb." And you hear them saying it, it's because they have understood and heard those speech patterns coming from other people.
Yes.
And so when you want to flip it around, you start using the positive speech patterns. And
Yeah.
before you know it, they will start doing the same. It's the same with raising your voice.
Oh.
If you come in and say, "Pick up this room,"
Uh-huh.
or in a louder voice, they'll go, "Okay." Speech pattern.
Yeah. They'll repeat the same energetic pattern that you're coming in and
Yes.
with. Wow. I am just blown away by this research and this knowledge that you're giving me. So, what can an international diplomat and spy teach you about connection?
Basically, what we're saying right now, you are the power. You have the power to be able to defend yourself when you need to, help others to change their whole attitude and being, just thanks to your comfort or your words or your eyes. How you use those entities can completely turn relationships around.
Hmm.
I had a couple that came in and they were ready for divorce. And when each one was telling me their story, they just sat and looked straight ahead.
So, they're hiring you like a counselor?
I'm an educational therapist.
Oh, great. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I work with everyone who wants to
Yeah.
do things differently.
Right, right. Educational. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so just so I noticed two things that they weren't looking at each other and their tone of voice was Um, Sometimes the intonation was a little aggressive. So all
Yeah.
I said was, go home, try this for a week, look at each other, and watch the intonation of your voice and voice patterns. They
Oh,
came back and they said, oh my gosh, sex was great. And I said, awesome. We didn't talk about that. And they said, well, we had forgotten to make eye contact.
yes.
And when we started making eye contact, we realized that there was still a spark there. Yes. So that's the amazing things that you can do with your eyes that we are so busy that we forget to do, especially with our children or people that are close to us.
Yes, that's right. So when you're making eye contact, do you recommend looking at one eye? Like, what's a good way to make eye contact with someone?
It all depends on the situation. You know, if let's say the kids have things all over the floor,
Hmm.
you just, in a very matter-of-fact way, you look at them and say, where do your things need to be? And then you lower your eyes, excuse me, and you walk away. When they have completed it, no, I'm serious, because
But I
you know
just
what?
I can imagine myself doing this, and I feel like a robot. So go ahead.
Well, and then what do we usually do? Once they do pick them up, we say, you see how nice it is when you start doing all these things.
Ah, give that
And
positive reinforcement after.
well, no, you don't say anything. You say thank you.
Oh,
That's it. Stop. The one thing
oh,
the kids
thank you.
tell me when we work together, they said we can't stand it when our parents do two things. One, that they rag on us even if we do something right. And
Oh,
two, that you change the rules in the middle of the time when they thought they knew them.
yeah. And I do that a lot. I have to say, I change the rules
Mhm,
because I get frustrated with my son being on video games.
mhm.
So he said, just let me finish this game. And I say, okay. And then after a certain amount of time, I'm like, something inside me wells up that I just can't take it any longer. And I said, I'm, no, you have to get off now. And he's like, but I promised I would let him finish the game. So
Mhm.
I'm being out of integrity, right?
No, so you actually you're halfway there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I get a half a point. Okay.
yeah, right, right.
Point oh five.
Yeah,
Okay.
so when you say please define the time limit of finishing the game. And
Yes.
you look at him when you say that. Don't be mad, just look at him. So please define how long that would take. And then he says, about 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, may I come in and note the time? Is that going to be comfortable for you? And notice that I'm looking right at you. Is that going to be comfortable? I'm not mad. Is that going to be comfortable for you? And he's going to say, well, I don't know. Well, let's make a time then
Yeah.
that we can both agree on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. He's going to be like, who are you? But
You
then,
could you could call me anytime.
and then he's going to be like, oh my gosh, I probably have to write this down. Like, how do people learn this? I mean, I feel
Well,
like I have
this
to ingrain new patterns into my being.
mhm. Well, it's interesting because that's why I wrote the first book, because one of the fathers was so happy with everything he's learning, but he said, how am I going to remember this? Please write a book. So I did.
Oh, okay. So that's the first book, Ask, Don't Tell.
Right, but it's more doctoral Olvera written. You
Okay.
know, it's as if you were back in college and you were reading a book, you know, there's some research and everything. This book I wrote as you, like you and I talking, and it's fun. I
Yeah.
give you ideas, I show you examples and how it was used,
Mm-hmm.
and then it gives you the opportunity to replicate or do something similar.
Yeah, and when you're talking about eye contact, that's a cultural thing, right? I mean, that's a practice that we use in the US, but there's some cultures that might get offended
Right.
with eye contact, like
Mhm.
Japanese. I mean, do you take that into consideration?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
And a lot of times I will tell them that in this country, this is common practice. Would you permit people, would you be comfortable letting, making eye contact? And if you're not, then it's something you need to make notice right up front.
Hmm.
So if your child's going to school, coming to an American school, please know that when you want to speak with my son and he doesn't look at you, that is a cultural nuance. And
Okay.
then that's when you would say, do you mind if we ask that he does things different or that
Uh-huh.
you change those rules here in school because it seems to be one that everybody uses?
Okay. Okay. I see. That's wonderful. Well, what motivated you to combine your diplomatic work with your background in diagnosis?
Um, every time I was working with someone, because we were in Argentina and then we were in Mexico, I was diagnosing and I never realized it.
You mean diagnosing like a mental health disorder?
No, I was diagnosing like, who is this person?
Oh,
What does
got
he
it.
want?
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah, why did he say I'm sitting beside Mrs. Olvera or and in front of everybody making a large a comment to point me out? Why?
Mm,
And I had to learn cultural differences and to know which ones I should look at and which people I should not look in the eye.
mm.
But then let's say someone is getting a little too deep into their questioning. I look them straight in the eye, and then I would say, I think our conversation is over. I must leave.
Oh,
And so then I would go and find my husband and off I'd go.
that I love that. That's wonderful. And you have such authenticity and sweetness to your voice. They probably like want they'll probably want to talk to you more. Like run after you.
It's funny, I started doing this with our son when he was in middle school.
Oh yeah, my son's in middle school, right?
So at first it was, oh, you're doing the doctoral thing. And I said, yeah, I guess I am.
Yeah.
What do you think? I would say. And then he would start to say one thing. And then pretty soon I found out what he really didn't like about me. So the hard thing is hearing the good and the bad of what they think, but now you know. So
Yeah.
that permitted us to have open conversations, which is something I did learn in Latin America, that they do tend to be more open in telling you what they think once they become friends with you.
Interesting. Yeah. And like Argentina, I really loved Argentina. It has the architecture and the food and the culture. It's a beautiful place.
Yes, yes.
Well, how has your journey through these diverse roles shaped your understanding of communication?
As we've been discussing, it's permitted me to see how communication can be changed and empowered just by the simple ways that we talk with each other. And clarity of thought provides clarity of mind, which then opens up an opportunity for you to really explore the power of each of you.
Mm.
You can bring out the power in someone else simply by letting them open up their heart and their mind to you. That's in new relationships.
Oh, how do you do that? Let's hear this.
This is how definitely. First you begin with saying the things that you like. Actually, in our situation, his wife was very short. And so he kept, kind of bending over. But the doctors were telling him, if you keep doing that, you're going to make yourself very unhealthy. So he said, okay, why don't you just tell me when I'm bending over? So I did. He
Hmm.
was so embarrassed. He
Oh,
walked out of the room.
oh,
So I flipped it. Every time I saw him standing straight, I'd say, hey, hey, boy, are you getting tall? Boy, are you tall? Wow, this is awesome. And before you know it, he completely turned himself around. And now people are saying, have you grown?
wow.
And so just having that positive affect about himself gave him confidence.
Yeah.
When he had confidence, he felt secure. When he felt secure, he was more open in our conversations.
Mm, yeah, that makes sense. So, how can someone improve their self-control and interpersonal skills by changing their communication style? Is that what you were just talking about?
Right. And two things we don't do enough, and that is, well, three. Listen,
Okay.
use our eyes, and really pay attention to our vocal intonation. That's
Ah,
awareness, that's perception. When you open up the door of perception, not only are you opening up yourself to the world around you in terms of people, you actually start seeing the whole world differently. He's actually seeing, like, Diane, look at all those flowers. Look at all these trees. He hadn't done that. He
wow.
was so busy focusing on life that he forgot to look at self and life that's really around you.
That's so beautiful.
Yes.
Well, what are some speech patterns that can make or break relationships?
Oh, yes. When you know somebody for a long time, you often will forget to uh, monitor the tone and the affect of your voice.
Yes, you let that. That's interesting. Like because there is a dynamic when you just meet someone, sometimes people are nicer to someone they just meet or don't know that well than in their own relationship. So now
Yes.
I'm seeing the reason. Okay, you're
Yes.
explaining. Okay.
Yeah. So when you start to monitor that, you start thinking, oh boy, was I screechy today.
Hmm.
Yeah. I I I guess I'm talking to people in a way that is frustrating for them. There was a guy that came in when he was in high school, and he kept saying stupid. That was stupid.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my mom's stupid. The book
I
is stupid.
yeah,
I,
my kids say that.
yeah,
Oh.
and I said, well, wait a minute. So it was interesting because when I said, there's a word that's a pattern here. Did anybody ever say stupid to you? You know,
Mm.
you know what he said? When I was in fifth grade, the teacher said his name. That was a stupid thing to say in front of all the kids. He said, I thought I forgot about it. I said,
Oh.
here you are in 10th grade, and you've carried it in your heart all this time.
Oh.
And I said, do you think you're stupid? He goes, sometimes I do.
Oh my.
So it took us a while. I had to get his parents to understand, and then anyone else who was with him to understand that when that word comes out, we needed to redirect it.
Mm.
Is it really stupid, or is there another word you want to use for this book?
Okay.
Is your brother really stupid, or is another word that you can use that would define your brother in a, in a nicer way, or a softer way?
Yes, yes. And you know what I do, and I like your approach better. I say, okay, cancel, cancel. You're not letting that energy in when my kids are talking bad to each other. And then I say you need to say something positive.
So you're doing a wonderful job of using your words.
Yes.
So all I'd like you to do is flip it. Cancel. What am I asking you to cancel? One.
Yeah.
And what words could you use differently? So when they hear themselves make decisions, change a relationship, or improve a characteristics that they're showing, that's self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
That builds self-esteem. And when you build self-esteem, you build self-confidence. And they start using that with their friends. Like they could turn around and say, "Hey, was that a nice thing to say?" And the friend goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." Boom. Now they start, the kid, seriously, this happens. The kids start seeing them as leaders. And yes, and when they start being seen as leaders, now they become very empowered and they start
Mm.
using it with more people.
Interesting, interesting. I like that. Well, you talk about eye magic and the power of the glance. Why do you believe that glance is such a powerful tool? And I'll just say that I have done like a 5-day meditation retreat where you're just looking into another person's eye. And it
Mm.
is challenging. It is really hard. And even looking at someone, especially if they're attractive, it is like really hard.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm talking about dating now.
Yeah,
But like when you do that, when you take that moment, I do feel my heart expand.
you do. It's like looking into their soul.
Yeah.
Eh, So that is eye magic. Even with autistic kids, they'll say, "Don't look at me," and they'll put their head down.
Yeah.
And I'll say, "But I'm going to keep looking at you because I know you're going to feel my good vibes."
Oh.
And they do. And then pretty soon they pick up their head and they'll say something and then they'll put their head down and then I'll say, "Well, I'm still talking to you." And then before you know it, they relax and they're open.
Interesting, interesting. So it's just that they think that they don't like it as to gain control over their environment is
No, no, actually, they do that because sometimes people's eyes become too much, the energy that comes from their eyes is too strong. And so it makes them very uncomfortable because they feel like they're kind of on the spot.
mm,
But when you're calming and you're relaxing with them and you use your eyes intermittently, and then that gives them a chance to know that be calm, I'm calm. I'm looking at you because I like you, because you're my friend, because I want you in to my aura of energy,
mm.
into my bubble.
Yeah, that's right. Well, what about listening? How can you teach people to listen who don't want to?
That's, well, that's very difficult. Yeah, because there's two ways. One is listening and one is to talk. Because, when kids get to be around 13, 14, 15 years old, I don't know, they slam the door and then they go into the room and that's it. And so that's where I use extension words. But in listening, sometimes people don't want to listen to you because you are a constant voice. You are the voice of power. And when you don't really listen to what they're saying and what their heart is saying, then you've taken away their power.
Mm,
And this is at any age, so it doesn't mean just with kids. You could be talking to a girlfriend. You could be talking to a man, someone new that you're meeting. Notice that when you first meet somebody that looks really attractive and interesting, you do make a lot more eye contact.
mhm,
But in that eye contact, what are we doing? We're really scoping them out.
mhm. Yeah.
You know, how do I feel? What are they saying? Why is his eyes looking away when we talked about finances?
Yeah, I see. Paying attention to the body language.
Hmm.
Mm,
But mostly the eyes, because when the eyes start moving away, you start wondering if they're moving away because he doesn't want to make eye contact because maybe he's hiding something.
that's your spy coming in. Wow.
But try it, it works.
Mm. Interesting.
Mhm.
Well, who can gain from applying the concepts and strategies in your book and why?
Actually, anyone can. You can start at 2 years old, neurodivergent, autistic, um, husbands, wives, friends, even the checkout person. It sounds so crazy, but all you do is you look at them and say, wow, you're really busy today. The fact that you made eye contact helps them feel felt.
I love doing that.
Hmm.
It's
But you
amazing
didn't
how
realize that your eyes were like it was like a hug. And you don't realize the impact just a little glance can have with anyone.
mm, yeah. And what about in the workplace? Are these skills applicable and the benefits of
Very,
integrating them?
absolutely. Once you understand how people process information, let's say you were doing a new entrepreneurial project, and there were two people in your office that seemed to be opposites. They never really got along. But once you understood that one was a generalist and one was a specialist, now you're bringing the minds together. Mary, you have a great overarching idea for this project. And Jack, you love details. Yes. And Mary hates them. So Mary puts this wonderful board up, her project board, and Jack is eating it up. Where before they were butting heads because, oh, you're always asking questions, oh, you're always bothering this, oh, you always want attention. But now Jack becomes an ally. You do this in relationships too. If you met somebody that had a different brain than yours, but now you knew how that brain worked, rather than saying, this is not a person for me, you might say, this person is going to fill the void in my life.
No.
You complete me.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so then you are more open to a compatible relationship versus someone who's exactly like you, which I think is not as interesting, maybe.
And they could be exactly like you, but they still have, everybody has a different way of processing things.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So it might be that they don't use their eyes. It might be that they don't use their voice. A very quiet person. How do you
Mhm.
bring them out?
Yeah.
And
And
that's where I use extension words.
like what?
You just did it.
That's an extension word. Okay.
Yes. Like
Okay.
what? And so it gives the door has just opened to me, and you're saying, Diane, tell me more. But all you had to say was like what? And you used your eyes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Interesting.
Mhm.
Well, this has been a fascinating conversation. I did want to ask you about, do you feel like you covered everything about how to help kids feel more responsible and love it?
With you, actually, I still would say more. Um, First of all, when like now is summer.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, what I can do is I can send you a list of what I've actually made up for parents.
Oh my
Um,
God, I love that. Thank you.
yeah, because what you really need to do is, the house rules, you
Mhm.
do them together. So you actually say, do you mind, guys? I'm going to write this down. And there's the rules and the repercussions. You don't make them, you make them together.
Okay.
So once you do that, then your job is done.
Ah,
Rather than telling them what to do, you ask.
I got it.
Now, at the beginning, because they're so accustomed to you talking all the time and telling them what to do, they will get frustrated. And you want to say, I'm so glad, because they didn't have the skills. So now that you're asking them to use skills that they weren't accustomed to having, you have now built a sense of self. And
Mm,
so when they do something correctly, what do? You say, thank you. I appreciate you making lunch.
yeah.
That was a sign of maturity. Boom.
Mm.
That's what you say. End. That's all they want to hear.
That's beautiful. So what's next for you? Are you going on tour or what's happening with your book and your release?
Right now, we're still in the process of release.
Okay.
I would love to see schools start doing this. We have lost this. It's a desperate need. And believe it or not, teachers would love it because in the end, the students are doing the work and they're learning self-reliance and self-confidence. I would love to see it in relationships. So I mean, I would love to do some speaking where people are learning these strategies to make a better world, to make a more interactive, sympathetic, understanding world. We've lost that.
Mm, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And what is Zen success to you?
What is Zen success?
Yes.
Zen success to me is where we meditate. We do TM meditation all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is permitting each person to become their self and to show their beauty to the world and be accepted for who they are. And we can only do that if we make them beautiful. And the way we make them beautiful is by using our words to empower them. And it's not
Mm.
that, oh, you are so good and you're such a wonderful child and I'm so impressed with you. No, when the words come out of their mouth, they are the beautiful words.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Well, it's been such a pleasure connecting with you, Dianne,
Yes,
and
I,
learning about your books. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, I feel the same way. This is just wonderful. I'm so happy I had this opportunity with you.
Thank you. And I'll put your website and how to buy your books and connect with you in the show notes. And thank you for joining me on the Zen Success Show, Dr. Dianne Olvera.
Well, keep in touch. Thank you so much. I
My pleasure.
appreciate your time.
That's it for today's episode of Zen Success. Head on over to iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to shows. Subscribe to the show and share with friends. Be sure to head on over to ZenSuccessShow.com to help you on your Zen success journey. And join us on the next episode. May you find your own Zen success in life.